Now, up here is the guide. Please use the guide to help remember concepts. So this is a constant, so you gotta run your code. Remember, running my code will allow everything to show up. So if you're doing this on the iPad, notice whether we do returns or prints, they all show up to the side, so they no longer show up to the bottom. So you always have to click run my code after you do everything, okay? So notice I have everything. This is an integer, this is a double, this is how a function works. How the function works, and this is how you run your function. You call the function, so it shows up over here. I have 100 comic books. This is a conditional statement, so if we run it one time, the number shows up as 3 and it puts this message out. If we run it again and we see that the number is 2, it still puts out that message. If we can get it to show up where the message is number 1, it'll show up this message, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to fill these 4 things out based on the guide above. So use the guide as an example. So let's do the first one. Create a constant called my name that holds / is equal to a string of your first and last name. So how do I create a constant? I go up let, so I have to put let. So I'm going to come down here and I am going to do let, and I'm going to do name, and it's going to equal Steve Lane. Okay? And when we run our code, sorry, this happens to you. Notice it says create a constant called my name. So if you're having trouble with the keyboard, pop it up, hold the space bar. So my name equals Steve Lane. Okay, run your code. And everything should run through, and then you should get this popping up to the side after you run your code. ABC, my name. Okay. So then you're going to create a variable called amount of shoes that holds the number of shoes you own. You're going to create a function that is called how many days with an argument called amount of days and have it return a string. Okay. So when you do that one, we go up to, this is a function with an argument and a return, okay? So function, how a function works. Argument is the name. So the argument, you're gonna replace argument with whatever it says down here, which is called amount of days, and it's gonna be an integer because you're putting the number in there, and it's going to return a string. So you gotta write it out exactly like that, and then try to see if you can figure out how the 4th one works. Turn it in, whether you figure it out or not. Do the best you can.